All right, what's going on, everybody? We are back. Today is January 15th, Martin Luther King Day. Market was closed, of course. So we're back at it with a Monday night edition of just kind of getting after it and going through the market and seeing what we see. So I know we're just, it's on a delay, but please just let me know you guys can hear me before we get going. I tried to stream some game earlier and it wasn't working. So if you guys can hear me, please just let me know so I'm not talking to myself. And then we'll get into it. I have a few names that I want to look at, and overall, I got to be honest, really not many great setups right now. We're kind of in limbo, in no man's land. So I will, I'll show you guys that as well, and why I'm saying that, of course. But all right, cool. What's up, NASCAR All Out? Tony, what's going on, man? All right, so let's get after it. Let me just pull up the charts. If you guys have any that you want to look at, please let me know. You guys might have a much larger list, or just a different list, really. I mean, you guys will be able to see the screen now, but if you look at this right where I'm scrolling, you'll see like I have a pretty big list, and if they're going through them, really, again, nothing like screamed to me that we're looking all right in a specific place. And unfortunate, but you're going to run into times when this happens. That is for sure. So I mean, I guess I can go through this really quickly. I know a lot of people aren't all that interested in the indices and such, but there are a lot of you that are. Actually, I shouldn't say that. So but just looking at overall, looking at tech QQQ, you'll see where we currently are after last week. Obviously, we made up a lot of ground after that first week of January, where we really sold off quite hard. You'll notice where we bounced off of that last week, and that was previous buy side liquidity, or previous high that we swept after completing my model here. Holding on to that's pretty encouraging. Now, to get a little I guess gets a little bit more difficult in part reading it. If you were to take a look and see, we're still banging up inside this bearish imbalance. This dates all the way back to January of 2022. So that was long ago. Also, we made a big run here, right? So really the question that I'm asking myself is there more? Is there a continuation, or do I see us retracing lower on the weekly time frame? And that's where I kind of run into a little bit of a pickle, because ultimately I still believe this all-time high is our draw on liquidity. I got to be honest, still believe that's the case. The fact that we're kind of stalling out a little bit over the first 2 weeks of January, ICT himself, he kind of talks about it, and he takes off from, the beginning of December and doesn't come back until February. So, is he on to something? I watch a ton of his videos, but I've never really experienced where, price action might not be as clean heading into the new year and into January at the very least. But we could look at a very similar situation. I can kind of see this shaking out two ways, because if you were to look here at the dollar, and this is the best indicator that apparently nobody uses, but here's the dollar over the last week, and this was the move that I had forecasted, and still really ultimately the move that I do lean towards. And it's following our discount retracement up into 50%. Here's our bearish imbalance and our rejection. Off of this was an untouched bullish imbalance right here that we held on for dear life towards that last week of December, and bounced right back up into a newly formed bearish imbalance to the downside on the dollar. Now, currently, this is our second attempt up into that area. We do have equal highs above, which is sketchy. And if we were to go up to these equal highs, that to me would be more than enough for our weekly NASDAQ chart to pull back down into discount. Because one thing that it's noteworthy is that despite this retracement here, if we were to map our new range, right, I have the old range where we completed my model on this, and if we're to go from low to high, you'll notice we're nowhere near discount of this range, right? So going back up towards those equal highs, that puts that in jeopardy, getting down into discount, right? And that's why last week you'll notice I had tweeted something that I thought was pretty important. And, we'll see if it holds true. I could be wrong. But the fact that we didn't form a weekly bearish imbalance last week with this candle, right? That was an aggressive sell-off. But the fact that we came back up here and we, at one point or another, doesn't have to close, doesn't have to do nothing. As long as price ran up to that candle's low, which was 16,938, that would prevent a weekly bearish imbalance from forming. So the fact that it did not form, that's pretty encouraging for the bulls. But on the flip side of that, dollar, it's its own animal, and it's back up into this bearish imbalance in which it already had filled. So just again, something that's worth noting. I would personally like to see this move on the dollar. To me, that would be more than enough for price to take out all-time highs on the indices, and we continue from there. At that point, we sweep these relative equal lows, which we also have, which is something noteworthy. And that's why I think we're in such a conundrum here where really it's not as clear as day. I mean, really, a lot of these setups that I was planning on going through, they're not all that great. So, anyways, now that's ultimately, oh, dang it. All right, that was really bad. Oh, whoops. Hold on. I have the screen shared, but that is like a generic share screen. Whoops. Sorry about that. And okay. All right. So that's what I was referring to on the dollar right there. Sorry about that. Yeah. So again, we're still in that same bearish imbalance. Not necessarily, convinced that this is, this is going to go up to those equal highs. I don't want to get it twisted. I still favor the down move, but it's not as clear cut as one would like, myself personally. It just leaves a little bit of, I can see it both ways, and both ways would kind of make sense. But ultimately, whether it's this move immediately to the downside or whether it is an upside move, sweep the relative equal highs, and then come back down for this, in a couple weeks, maybe a month or two. That's a possibility. So ultimately, I'm kind of waiting for a real direction to be kind of carved out. But again, the fact that NASDAQ did not create that weekly bearish imbalance is big for the bulls, in my opinion. So we'll have to wait and see and kind of get after it. But all right, back to the comments. Yeah, sorry about that, Tony. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Thanks for, alerting me though. I appreciate that. So anyways, if anybody has any names that they want to go over, feel free. If not, I'm just going to go over the normal names that I typically would in order to get a prep on the week. I know a lot of you guys don't trade the mega caps or anything like that. I have a mix of different stuff that I typically look at, but we can go through it anyways. So first and foremost, let me just get this out so I can write down at what time I go over what name. But all right, first off, let's go with all reliable here. We'll down here. This one just had completed, so we'll look at SMCI. This is one that we watched over the last couple of weeks, but really last week. This turned out to be a great trade for me here, where we have our low to high. Why am I using that low? That was the start of the price run that took out our most recent high, which is right here. So from high to low, we get our retracement discount down in here, 50%. And from here, we kind of consolidated for a little bit, but ultimately we made our move up to complete my model at 357. Now, what's next, right? That's the question that I often get. And at this point, like many other names, what I need to do, I need to see how this candle is going to react. So if this candle this next week is to create some sort of bullish imbalance to the upside, if that happens, to me, that will give me the, I guess, the encouragement that price is going to continue and move higher. Now, if price was to retrace, and this is a pretty big retracement, and prevent us from forming some sort of bullish imbalance in this situation, then at that point, I would look for some sort of retracement. The tricky part here is, what is the price run that took out our most recent high? And really, if we're talking about this high here, it's this low to that high. So just by looking from low to high right here, let me just remove that because our model is complete. you'll notice this is what we're working with at the moment. So right now at 293.12, we have that bullish volume imbalance or gap higher. So a gap higher tends to show some urgency to move higher. And we went up, ultimately like, 65 points last week. Yeah, about 65 points. So with that being said, that's enough urgency to move higher. But again, I want to see, because this is previous buy side liquidity right here. I need to see, do we create this imbalance here? That would show me some urgency to continue. Or do we make that reversal move, get back down into discount, and prevent this bullish imbalance from forming? That's really all I'm looking at here on SMCI. But I wanted to bring this one up because we had spoken about this. So, oh, whoops, getting a call on Discord. Hold on one second. All right. Sorry. I don't even know if you guys could hear that, but okay. So anyways, back to it. Um screw it. FSLR, we could look at that for sure. Mara, absolutely. MSTR, you got it. And happy Monday, Kale. I hope you're happy to be back at it. So, all right, let me just mark that down. At least we looked at NQ, DXY off the jump. I'm gonna have to leave this group. Whoop. I need to I don't know how to block this. Hold on. Sorry, that's really annoying. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, sorry. Got that all figured out. So yeah, we'll go through those names for sure. But I just, as always, I like to write down at what times we go over certain names. That way people coming on later can go back and look and see. So, all right, the first one that we're going to look at is FSLR. Thank you, Tony, for that. Let's take a look. I definitely don't have this charted. So let's see. FSLR. Okay, cool. And let me just do this one quick thing over here and see. Okay, about 13:50. 13 minutes in. All right, cool. So let's look at FSLR. We'll look at the weekly. If it's warranted, we can crunch it down and go into a smaller time frame as well. So what was the start of the price run? That took out our most recent set of highs, and it was from here to, we'll walk this thing up. Okay, so we look from right here, right? We took out these highs, fair, right? So by taking out those highs, we'll look, do we get a discount retracement? Nope. Okay, continue. Discount retracement? Nope. Discount retracement? Nope, 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 nope. Not until here. Okay, so we did get into the discount, ready? And let me just zoom in just a little bit more. And let me crunch that so we have a lot more space here. Okay, so from this point, let's mark out some of our imbalances. I think it's fair to say that our most recent price run is bullish. Okay, so with that being said, let's mark out some of these imbalances. There's one. If you don't know what imbalances are, check out the video I made. I have it out there posted. Here's another. Bingo. Haha. Interesting. Okay, continuation here. Obviously, with hindsight, we know everything else up there is already done. So from this point, let's just mark out some of our bearish levels that we also have. So here would be our first right there. Good. Okay. Here is another one right there. Oh, okay. So right now we are working with, we have a bullish order block here. We have a bullish order block there and currently rejecting. So we're sitting inside this bullish order block. Let's crunch this even more and look into the daily. One sec. Okay, so if we're to look at the daily time frame, we can crunch this really even more into a more recent price run, if you will. So as you'll notice, the weekly time frame is usually very clean, and then when you go any farther down, it gets a little sloppy, just because obviously within a week you get 5 daily candles. So let's see. Hold up. Let me pull this up. Okay, good. All right. So this most recent, okay, so you're gonna notice, and there's a recurring theme here. So here's our first market structure shift from low to high. We took out these highs over here with this price run right here. Bingo. Okay. No discount retracement even until that high, right? That was not a discount retracement. So we retrace back down into discount here. You're going to notice not only do we have a bullish volume imbalance right there, bingo, that's what we hit, but we also had a pretty big imbalance right here. Price gets down into our golden pocket, 79%, takes off, completes my model. Beautiful. Okay. From that point, what was the price run that took out this high right here from low to high? Okay, you'll notice no discount retracement, and we actually did make another high right there. Boom. Okay, so with that being said, let's come on over here. Here is our first bullish imbalance right here. Here's our second bullish imbalance here. Okay, and we also have this in itself, which is an imbalance candle with no wicks on either side of it. Okay, so not quite at discount. You see how close it is though. To me, I would feel much better about getting it somewhere down at like 151. Is that necessarily absolutely going to happen? Not necessarily. There are times where price will hold 50% on the imbalance above. But to me, what would make more sense is getting something at a discount. So at 50%, we can call that fair price value for our range, right? If this is the entirety of our range from 137 to 177, right here, 157 is the middle of it, or fair value or fair price, right? So if you're going to go long above that 50%, technically you're overpaying. And if you're going short, or I'm sorry, if you're going long below 50% of our range right here, down in specifically this imbalance, that's where I would be looking. That is technically a discount, right? We're getting it under fair value or under the equilibrium, 50% of the range, right? And the way that I have this mapped is really just, a 150, 169 with my, a close below this imbalance here. And I, cut the trade and call it. But really, that would look like 151, potential 177. So, are there times where I miss trades because I wanted to get deeper into discount? Yes, absolutely. But I would prefer to be, at this point, you're really looking to score what, like 65% of the range while risking 30, 35. It's not all that bad. So, so yeah, not too shabby for the first one. But do you see how we're kind of in between? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, I think, a recurring theme all throughout in a lot of these setups that we're going to look at tonight, because a lot of them, it's like, okay, yeah, I could see it bouncing here, but I would personally like to get it a little bit lower in discount. Like that happened a lot of the time when I was just going through, and I didn't go through as much as I recently have, just because I've been pretty busy. But this upcoming week, a lot of these names are in between. So but FSLR, that's pretty interesting. That's a good look there. So thank you for that one. All right, and we'll continue on here. Let's see. Okay, so we got Mara. Nice. Okay, so this is a good one, Mara. And we'll say this is at 19 minutes about. All right, good stuff. I knew we were kind of close. Yeah, Tony. So we're pretty close. You were absolutely right. This is where it gets a little tricky. It's like, do you want to buy it off that 50% imbalance and then maybe look deeper into discount if it weren't to work out? And I used to do that, especially when I was scalping, NASDAQ or SPX, right? I would just have a super tight stop in terms of, or I guess where my stop placement was. I'd be super tight with it. And then if we lost, like, let's say there was an imbalance at 50%, I would just cut it and then look for it again down in the 79%. And while it's all good and great, there are times where ultimately you're giving money back when you don't necessarily have to. And I would prefer not to do that. So I try and be a little bit more precise. And even from what we just looked at on FSLR, from that weekly to daily, I would then just go into the hourly chart as well and see if I can crunch it even more at that point, and see if I can find anything on the hourly chart that would, line up or make sense. So, but anyways, thanks for that. Yeah. So, all right, let's go over to Mara. Okay, so Mara, currently, we just got back down into discount on the weekly here. So if you take a look, what was the price run that took out this high right here? And it was from this. I like to use the green candles from low to high. Okay, you'll notice where we rejected, and I'll show you bearish imbalance right here. See that? That was an untouched bearish imbalance. So typically when you get into an untouched bearish imbalance, the expectation is that price is probably going to reject on the first attempt, which in this case it does, right? So we got our discount retracement, 50%. There it is. So once we get that 50%, then I'm interested, right? So at this point, right here, we are currently in a discount imbalance. Do I favor this one more? How can we, kind of be a little bit more precise in terms of how, or really, do we think Mara is going to bounce off 50%, or do we think Mara can go down deeper into discount? Still a bullish range, right? But do we get this deeper discount into this bullish volume imbalance, potentially sweeping this low right off here at 14.12 and then taking off from that point, right? And this is just another thing worth noting. I try not to clog them all up, but in reality, like, this is an imbalance as well, right at that 79%. So if we were to go back and look just quickly, while still having Mara in mind, let's take a look at Bitcoin, because this typically will be the driving force. And one thing with Bitcoin that, again, not this one. The thing with Bitcoin right now is, look where we are. Okay, so obviously we're deeper into discount. I know last time I showed you that yearly setup that we have on Bitcoin, where we're in like a big Mando model discount right now, and leaving it, I should say. But here's the thing. We look at where we currently are. We've been stuck here for quite some time. This bearish imbalance right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th week of us being stuck inside this imbalance. I would really like to see direction first. And notice last week we swept buy side liquidity here at 48,234. Now, if I start to see Bitcoin start to retrace down into this area right here, right? Or I guess to be even more precise, let's look at this most recent price run. We took out these highs here with this price run. Okay, all the way up to here because there was no discount retracement in that move right there. Let me just remove this for 1 sec, and you'll notice that at 50%, could we come down to 50%, but body still hold this bullish imbalance? Yeah, for sure. But I really just want to see overall reaction to this imbalance. Do we start to leave it? If we start to leave it, then I think this is where we ultimately go. And at that point, Mara is probably going to go back down at 14. But if we do make that move and finally break out through this, this imbalance right here, then to me, 52,000 is our next draw on liquidity, which would be crazy. But to me, something that's very possible. But again, just, like I said before, this week, you're going to notice that there's a lot of this, right? We saw it on NASDAQ. NASDAQ has it right now where what's the move here, right? We're in the bearish imbalance. I still think that the draw on liquidity is higher, but is it going to show itself now, or does it retrace one more time before doing it? That's just ultimately my biggest question. Where to next, I guess. So, whoops, I got to remove that, and I want to put so hold on. Before we do anything, I'll just do this really briefly because I know I did it last week, but everybody might not have saw. Watch this. Here's the yearly chart on Bitcoin. Just crazy. Ready? Price run that took out this high here, low to high, discount retracement, check, 79%, bullish imbalance, check, Mando model completes at 69K. it would be crazy. The timetable is really the part that's annoying to me. Does it take a while? Does it complete this year? Is it next year? I know Bitcoin has the halving coming up this year. So, but yeah, so ultimately Mara, we're currently in discount. If I had to guess, I'd probably say that we do end up going a little bit deeper into discount. But, that's just me. I think the dollar's going to play some games this week, to be honest. So, so yeah, there's Mara. All right, let's take a look at MSTR. Thanks for that one, by the way. So MSTR, I'm sure it's probably pretty similar to Mara in terms of its reliance on Bitcoin as a whole, but we can look at it anyway. Let me just see one thing. Okay. All right, let's come on over. Let's go to MSTR. Whoops. Okay, MicroStrategies. Nice. Okay, so All right, what was the initial price run that took out a high here? Okay, and it was from this to, whoa, nasty. Oh, I'm sorry, it shouldn't even be there. Really, from here. Okay, disgusting. Really gross chart. I did not know that it ran as much as it did, and I'm not sure if there was any split or anything like that. So let's keep it a little bit tighter just to start. So obviously, you know what? Actually, let's go full top down. Screw it. Let's go here. Okay. So currently on MSTR, we're working in this bullish order block right here. Okay. Let me just see one thing. 50% of the order block is at 354. Okay. I don't really anticipate it going below there, but now let's just keep on moving it down. Let's go down to the monthly. Okay. So interesting enough, we are currently inside the monthly bullish imbalance here. Did we sweep lows? Oh, no, we didn't. Never swept the low down here. Okay. Price bounce. Sloppy, but there it is. I guess, I mean, ultimately, like, this would be our range. Very sloppy and very deep into discount. You could tell that there's definitely a heavy reliance on external factors, Bitcoin, for example. But after rejecting this monthly bearish fair value gap, you have your bullish fair value gap right here that we're currently running into. You actually have one more down here. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin, the question to me is, does Bitcoin make its move to the upside now or later in the year after it's halving? That really is the question to me. Obviously getting wrecked over this most recent stretch. Hold on, let me go over to the weekly. For to go on to the weekly, let's look at the most recent price run that we have just to be even more precise. Okay, took out this high here with this price run. Okay, currently in discount, and again, this is our monthly imbalance, not technically our weekly. We do have one weekly imbalance down here, which is actually much deeper into discount. So again, is it this imbalance that gives us the balance, or is it this one? That's the question, and we're gonna find out. So that's MSTR. So really, again, just not all that not all that interested there. But thanks for that one. Okay, Warzel, we can look at OIH for sure. Okay, let me just go through and see if we have any more. Yeah, I can look at CELH for sure. No problem. Faustop. Anyone know the name of the modified fib indicator? I don't have. It's just a regular fib. Warzel. So if you want the settings, here they are. Right here. Hold on. That's it. So the way I like it, I just move the labels to the right, and I have 0, 50, 62, 70, 79, -1 extension, -2, -4, -1.5. So it's just extensions, but it's literally just this tool on a trading view right there. So that's all. So yeah, that's all right. Now let's go over to this OIH and we'll take a look. Energy. Yeah. And let me just confirm timing of this. Just okay, 30 minutes in. All right. So OIH, we got. Huh. Okay. So if we zoom out, obviously on a much larger scale, we do have a bearish trend on energy, or OIH to be more specific. I mean, geez, yeah. Just ultimately, let's get the overall look here. But if we were to look closely, the closer we look, honestly, the better it looks. So, okay, so ultimately, I'll just show you guys anyways. Ready? Okay, boom. Discount retracement, check. Bullish imbalance, check. And we can really do this with any of these moves. They all line up, So again, like once you see it, you can't unsee it. Okay, so after our completion right there. We'll move it to the next. Okay, what was the price run that took out that high there? No discount retracement. Okay, no discount retracement. There's our discount retracement. Bullish imbalance here. Whoops, check. Okay, and model complete again. So if we are to look, and if, again, things are going to remain on the same beaten path with OIH, did we take out that high yet? No, we didn't. Yeah, to me, this is probably the draw on liquidity right there. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, we got multiple bullish imbalances here too. This one, we didn't get into that one yet. And then that bullish volume imbalance. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so that's not bad at all. One thing to note is, of course, this is a weekly chart, so it might take some time. And also, we have that bearish volume imbalance or gap down. Okay, so when we get the gap down like that, it's just worth noting that price gets back up into it. It could take some time. There's another bearish volume imbalance, and let's just look to our left and see what we got other than that high right there. You have a bearish volume imbalance here. You have a bearish fair value gap right there. And you have, I mean, you got a bunch up here, but this is a combination of a fair value gap and a volume imbalance. Right there's your gap down. There's your fair value gap. And then you got one more. We'll put it right here. Oh, whoops. Bingo. Okay. So that's what we're currently looking at. Yeah, I mean, geez, talk about a discount buy, huh? Let's just see if we can snipe out anything else. Low, high, lower, low. I mean, we already crossed the path with the breaker. Here's why head and shoulders don't work. Head, shoulder. Oh, what? I thought it was supposed to go down. Nope, nonsense. But yeah, I mean, we're in discount currently. This next level here, I personally would want to keep that one as a breakaway gap and show me some urgency. That's a pretty encouraging candle here. I would like it to be aggressive and start making its move higher at this point. But but yeah, that's OIH. That's not a bad one either. So thanks for that one. Okay, thanks. Let's see. All right, we'll go to Tesla next. Tesla's a pain. Tesla, and we'll do Tesla at 35 minutes. Okay, so with Tesla, hold on. Top man, cheers. Yep, you got it. What's up, Fatih? Thanks for joining. When you choose on a higher time frame to set up to long or short, how would you refine your stop loss be? Would you put it at the last tick of a recent imbalance? How would you manage that? Yeah, so for example, we'll just use OIH because it's on here. But if I was to long OIH off of this imbalance here, my stop would be below that wick. So the low of the candle that created the imbalance, that's where my stop would be. So that doesn't really change. I'm not going to use the imbalance because we still do have a little bit more room. And I would, especially looking at it weekly, I'd prefer to give it some space. But realistically, even on a situation like this, where let's say we do end up getting down to this imbalance, my first trade stops me out, and I'm looking here. Then at this point, off of this imbalance, it really wouldn't, it's a pretty big risk, but the trade really doesn't go bad in my opinion until 266 below the low of the candle that created the imbalance. So, so hopefully that helps. But here's Tesla. Yeah, Tesla, it's kind of got to recover like now. So the way I'm looking at it right now is with Tesla, the fact that we took out this low is no good to me. I actually had to get out of mine last week and just took the L. So it is what it is. But I would much rather do that than kind of hold on to it in hopes that things will turn around, knowing that while we do have 2 bullish order blocks here, the completion of what the 3 drives pattern would be 1 drive lower, 2 drives lower, 3 drives lower, and off that 3rd drive, then I'd feel pretty good. We do have the relative equal highs. My model still completes at 299. There's really no structural change to this until 152.37. But again, when you're trading options, you're fighting the clock. And the fact that, I had rolled my January win into February, I wasn't going to allow it to just beat the crap out of me and give back all the gains that I had in the prior 2 months trading it. So it's really got to get going now. I know it's simply put, but I wouldn't really be all that interested in shorting it because you do have 2 bullish order blocks. So, ultimately it's pretty scary, and that volume imbalance down and breakaway bearish fair value gap is no good. So I'm thinking maybe one more drive lower on Tesla down into deeper into discount, sweep this low and look from there. But, so yeah, that's where I'm at on Tesla. All right, CELH. Whoops. Okay. Let me just see if there's anything else. When I look at Bitcoin daily, we saw that yesterday we tapped the daily SIBI. I think it's fair to say that we can get to 41,300 and get the lows there, right? Yeah, I went over Bitcoin with Mara. That was at 19 minutes into this. So if you want to go back after, but I kind of, it's another one that's in between. It's tough. There's a lot of names right now that are just totally in between. But okay, so let's see CELH. All right. Again, if anybody else in here listening wants to look at anything, feel free because, check that. So yeah, so far so good. You have on CELH, you have bullish market structure shift. Hold on. Bullish market structure shift. Discount retracement to the tick. Takeoff. Model complete. Okay. Here's your second. Ooh, got a little close here. But again, didn't take out the low of the candle. No market structure shift. And there it is. Mando model complete number 2. And then what we have currently is the 3rd. So right now, so far so good. Looks pretty good actually. One thing to note on this name here, you are dealing with a pretty big bearish imbalance that we got into already, haven't yet filled. So buy side at 62.99, completion of my model up here at 78. I don't know why it needs to be at the, yeah, so this is off. Oh no, it's not. Whoops. Yeah, it's relative equal highs too. 68.95. CLH looks pretty good for continuation. I like that one. After you take this high out here, this reminds me a little bit of SMCI. So here's just one thing to note. So take a mental image of this, and then let's go over here. We'll go back to SMCI. But look, took out the high, retraced. Took out the high, retraced. So could you get a situation like that? Maybe. Hold on, let me go back. Could you? Maybe. But let's just look at just one thing. So with this, okay, yeah, we're still dealing with that volume imbalance. That's okay. I mean, really above this imbalance, 68 is fine. I mean, this has got to be all-time highs, right? But yeah, not a bad look at all. It's still a bullish structure. I wouldn't be looking to short the bullish structure at all. So, so yeah, CLH, that was a good one. See what I'm saying? You guys got better eyes than me. If we were to go through some of the names that I was looking at, you'd see the same thing recurring over and over again. Yeah, Lena, we can look at SoFi, sure. Okay. Is there anything on C Limited that you would say could give the stock finally some support? Keep getting wiped for months now. Yeah, we can look at that, and we can look at app too. All right, so let's do C first. Sorry, Lena, but Fatih just asked for that one first. So let me go up here and we'll look at SC. I think we charted this one a couple weeks ago. Okay, cool. So, yeah, let's look. So we swept COVID lows, and since then, you're gonna notice that there was no imbalance formed on the weekly. Okay, so what I mean by that is, after sweeping it, we did not form any upside imbalance that was sustained whatsoever. Here's a large bearish imbalance to the downside here. So to me, bearish trend continuing here. Here is just, as we potentially creep lower here, just it's worth noting we do have a pretty big bullish imbalance there, and we have multiple volume imbalances or gaps higher down here. Okay, and right here as well. Okay, so that's currently what it's at. I mean, just to me, like, I have zero interest in this. But let's just look. So from this immediate shift right here, let's just see, was there ever a discount retracement? Nope. Yeah, it's still like range setting. So because there's no 50% retracement, there's just, I'm not interested in a short at all. I would prefer to see some sort of bullish imbalance to the upside. And if that was to occur, then I would be looking at 50% for a retracement. Let's just see really quick. So if we were to set one more low, I'm just looking at something really quick. Okay, so if we're to set one more low, you have your low, high, lower low, and if we were to take out that high right there at 41 after taking one more low, it's just got to peek its head below right there, and we were able to sweep that high right here at 41, then you would create this candle would be your bullish breaker, and then from there that would be, to me, much more structured in terms of what's your entry, what's your stop loss, where could you take profit at, so until then, not all that much interest in that was CSE. But okay, let's look here at SoFi. Thank you, Lena, for that. So we'll look at SoFi. I know this is a really popular one around Twitter. And this is over here. Got it. Okay. So let's come on over. And SoFi. Okay, so with SoFi, yeah. Okay, so two perspectives to look at this. Both to me not bad. So what was the price run that took out this high and that high as well? From low to high, no discount retracement here, right? It would have to come down to 50%, and it does not. Range isn't set, and we get that continuation move. That's why it's dangerous to try and short something without forming any sort of imbalance to the downside, right? But anyways, there's your discount retracement right up to 70% and a new high. So right now what I have mapped is just the most recent price run. So if I were to zoom in here and show you, if you take a look, ready, from low to high, retracement down at the discount. So really on SoFi right now, you have about a 62-point range right there in discount. And I would like to see it move higher. This imbalance down through a premium, right? So again, if you're trying to long this, you're overpaying, right? Not ideal. So yeah, we're getting closer to this discount level right here. 765 is the start of the bullish imbalance, and really this trade to me doesn't go bad until really it wouldn't even be there, honestly. And that's kind of the shady part. But if we're just to look at the overall range, it's still technically bullish until below 445. So pretty big range. So not all that ideal, but not bad. I want to see how it reacts to that level right here, 765. So that's SoFi. I like following that one though. It's been good for like the last year in terms of following the setup. I love the chart of app loving right now. Next target seems to be tops at 45. Maybe fill the weekly Sibby till 48. Okay, yeah, I'll look at that. So it's just APP. Okay. All right. So okay, so ultimately I think it's fair to say that we're in a downtrend, right? If we're to look from the high, really we can go through each of these and there's not gonna be a discount retracement whatsoever. No. Okay. So at this point, I mean, I still would like to see 50% at the very least, 62, 65. Oh, whoops, wrong color right there. Okay. So there's your, you know, you're currently in a bearish imbalance in premium of a bearish range. So technically shorting this would be at a, you're kind of overpaying for it. But let's just mark out some more of these here. Some more imbalances. Okay. And we got one more right here. Sneaky. Okay. So this is what we're currently sitting at. Oh, there's another one right here. Gap down. Bearish. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that this is like a low resistance liquidity run, because you do have multiple levels of resistance overhead here. Even from this point here on this most recent price run, did we take out the high? Yeah, we did. So if we're to look at it like this, okay, what was the start of the price run that took out that high right there from low to high? Whoops, hold on. Low to high, right off 50% of that bearish imbalance to be precise. And we made one more high, bang. Okay, so we have not gotten into discount at all. So again, not really interested here because I feel like I can give a pretty good explanation for both sides. If you're looking at it from the bearish point of view, you could say, oh, well, I see price getting into discount at 50% at 34.29, and from there maybe it bounce, right? And then the bullish, perspective is we're in the overarching range that we have dating back to 2021. We are bearish, and I think we're going to get that bearish, that discount retracement now. So, yeah, but in the meantime, not really too interested in that. But anyways, yeah. Can you check DDD? Swept liquidity and is retracing nicely. Potential for some long soon. Okay. Let's see. 3D systems. Okay. Oof. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, while you did sweep liquidity, this is a pretty disgusting chart, I gotta be honest. Ugh. Hold on. I'm trying to get it without zooming in all that much. All right, not bad. Okay, there's just one. And there's another. Let's just zoom in over here and just see if we can justify that little bounce right there. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Let's zoom in. Okay, ready? Okay, so from this point here, you have, nope, you have one bullish volume imbalance, bullish imbalance right here. Here's a bullish volume imbalance higher. Wow. Bullish fair value gap here. And let me just mark this. That's sell side. And whoops. Okay, so let's just see where we are currently. Okay, so the last bounce came from that imbalance. Whoops. Okay. And next was after sweeping sell side. We did get a bounce. it did take out that high right there. You can make an argument that this is a bullish price run. I would look at it like this. Oops, hold on. And I'm going to zoom in here. Whoops. Okay, is there a bullish imbalance and discount? There's your bullish imbalance and discount. You got a lot. There's a lot of resistance overhead here. Just keep on rolling. Hold on. Another. See that? Not really pleasant. Is a high resistance liquidity run. So it might take some time, but I mean, you do have a discount imbalance if you want to say this little fractal, right? And this little price run that we just had, taking out that high there is a market structure shift or something like that. But yeah, so that's DDD. Oh, you got some more names. Okay, I was looking at app 2. Seems like new copies adopted. And then would you check ARM? I'm kind of into this dead growth stocks. Yeah. All right, let's do these, and then I'm probably gonna call it quits. I feel like the sell-off from 2021 till now made enough resistance on stocks to deal with for a year. Yeah, it could. I mean, there's especially that one. There was a lot. But we can look at it anyways. All right, let's see. We got hold on, I'm just trying to pull it up. Whoops. Here we go. And Netflix. Okay, so after Netflix, we're calling it quits. All right, let's look for VRT, and as always, if it's a penny stock, I usually tend to avoid those. I don't know if they are or not. So 4. Let's see. Okay. Not bad. All right, so you do have a bullish market structure right now, or bullish trend. That's another word for it. I just dropped that video for any, if anybody's curious. It's in there. But okay, so yeah, I mean, really, this is the way I'd be looking at something like this. So not really a trade that fits my parameters, but you have a bullish structure, which is good. Now, realistically, this is when I like to get them in discount. So could there be some sort of continuation move? I'm sure, but not really ideal for like my personal setup, which is I mean, at this point, I'm sure a lot of you guys know. Yeah, that was a higher time frame liquidity sweep there too. Yeah, really. I like getting stuff in discount. So just because the risk reward is so much better in that situation. So yeah, just not yet. I mean, I might even do something like this, and just like, so like I'll, at least have an eye on it when it gets to discount. So what was the other one? VRT or something like that? I think that's what it was. Let me go back over here and look. VRT. Okay, yeah. So VRT. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. So this is another one, just kind of gone forever. Let's see. Low. High. No discount retracement. Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. I mean, this is a huge run. I never even seen anything on this company. I mean, even, you know what? To be fair, and on this, I'm gonna do it anyways. We never had any discount retracement on this entire run up, and I'm guessing just by the looks here, we are at all-time highs. So to me, again, just doesn't really line up with my model, where I like to get them in discount. That way, in terms of the overall range, you get a, quote unquote discount. And let me just mark out some more of these. Whoops. All right, here, hold on. Boom. Yeah, there's a lot of support down here too, just worth noting. Yeah, see, I prefer not to go after these. Now, here's the thing. Could it continue to go higher? Absolutely. I'm not trying to say that it can't. But just again, I'm trying kind of strict with like, my own entries and stuff. And you have earnings coming up here. I am pretty strict in terms of like, when I'm entering something. And it would have to be in discount of this range for sure. So okay, that's VRT. I think we got what, two more, and then I quit. Let's see, what was the other one? Oh, there was more. Shoot. All right, I'll run through these. LNTH. Yeah, I don't. Okay. Actually, kind of bearish on this. I have no idea what this is, but to me, the draw would be here, and then from there you have. That's a pretty big untouched bullish imbalance right there. This imbalance here, you bounced off of already and actually set a new high. So let's just, just for example, let's just see where we're at. Oof. Would need to recover this. I see what you're going with there. Yeah, I would need to recover that. I wouldn't want it any lower. I think it could end up going down here. But so that's LNTH. ARM was another one that somebody had asked for. Whoa. Okay, so there's really not all that much information available to the left, so I don't love that. But I will say here, you have a bullish imbalance there, and you have a bullish, fair value gap there. Okay, what was the price run that took out that high here? And it was from that to that. You do have a discount imbalance. I mean, there's no signs right now that have said, okay, we're going back down to discount. No imbalance is formed. So is there a possibility it continues higher? Yeah. But again, doesn't meet the criteria for me or my model. So I'm staying away. And that was ARM. But all right, let's do Netflix. And then, yeah, let's look at Netflix. And then we'll call it quits unless somebody has like a question. If you have a question, feel free. All right, so yeah, I have Netflix already charted, but Netflix completed my model here. Low to high that took out these highs. Discount retracement, bingo, 79%. There's your run to highs. That was from 351 to 485, so not bad. Now with Netflix, last week you actually kind of saved yourself. You got into this bullish imbalance here, held up 2 weeks ago. Last week you expanded a little bit. 511 is buy side on Netflix, and we're almost in this, or we are in this territory, I guess. If we're just to look at this overall, again, the market is very fractal. You'll hear that in the video where I say that. What I mean by that is there's many different perspectives you can look at, right? You have short-term bullish price runs, and then you have an overarching bearish range, right? Really deep into discount of this bearish range. We're currently in it. Here's 50%. We're well into it at this point, and you do have a lot of bearish imbalances. So to me, like, really not much looks all that enticing up here. So but I believe this is a daily high right here that I have, or I'm sorry, this isn't even a daily high. I just didn't want this clogging up my chart. That's why I had that there. Whoops. Ready? This is what I mean. That would have been there in red, and I'd prefer to not have that. So yeah, you have a bearish imbalance of 520. Actually, it's pretty interesting. So last week's hold on Netflix was pretty good. And until this range is set, you get some sort of imbalance to the downside. just not all, not all that interested. But so yeah, I think I think it's all good. Thank you, somebody. Yeah, no worries, man. Oh, thanks, Tony. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I'm gonna sound selfish right now, but doing this stuff, it helps me a lot too. I mean, I can't like not prepare. So by me doing this, and I got to give everybody else in here who's listening credit, because you guys find a lot of names that I would just never look at. And SMCI, somebody brought that to my attention. I ended up killing it on there. Upstart was another one a couple weeks back. So it is helpful, but ultimately, whether I was doing this on stream or in the Discord or on live or anything like that, I would be doing this stuff anyways. So I'm just really talking out loud. I don't want anybody to think you should do this. My biggest thing is, anybody, whether you're brand new, whether you're of course, it's good to learn from somebody, but you should strive to get to a point where you'll hear, you'll listen, or I guess hear other people's stuff, but like opinions and stuff, but you won't listen, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, um I hear people out all the time, but if I think something differently, I'm going with my gut. I put in way too much time into learning and back testing and studying this stuff, that I ain't gonna risk my money listening to anybody else. I'm sorry. It's just crazy. I again, it comes, you build up your own confidence, I guess. I mean, it's just and you will get to that point eventually. I think learning the right stuff is very important, and I don't think enough people are being taught the quote unquote right stuff. But and that's problematic for a lot of people because they get hurt. But really, what I try and do and what I try and show is something that you can back test on your own. You don't need me to show you. I mean, that's why I make those videos too. But you can go back and just back test it, and you'll see how well it works. And that's the thing. Like, now people in the group, they'll be like, "Oh, I just hit this on, you know, whatever it is, Rivian. Look, it's Mando's model." And they're using it. I didn't even take that trade, but if it's something that, again, you can go back and you can back test it and it works, that's the name of the game to me. But all right, somebody said Spirit and they were new. So Spirit, let's see. I mean, I gotta be honest, not really all that interested. Yeah, I mean, this might be one of the least clear setups out of all the ones that we just looked at, because we have relative equal lows. Didn't sweep it just yet. We didn't take out highs either, so technically we're still in a bearish trend or bearish market structure. I mean, really, I don't even know when was the first sweep from there to. Did we ever get any discount retracement? Yeah, okay. So from here, you did. There's your 50% tap dumper. Okay, so from that point, you got to lower. Go from the rejector, which is here. Okay, there's the discount retracement again, rejection, beautiful. Okay, discount rejection, beautiful. Okay, so really at this point it looks something like this. Whoa. Okay, oh, it's really here. Sorry. So yeah, that's what it looks like now. Ugh. It's still in a bearish trend. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like this long. You have one imbalance here. That's about it. Let me just look one more thing. No, not 3 months. Let's look at the monthly. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of looks ugly. not so hot, especially where it rejected right off this monthly bearish fair value gap. Whoops. Right there. Not so hot. Yeah, to me, 7's likely. That's what I feel at least. But so yeah, that's about all. I think. Let's see. Yeah. Oh shoot. Sorry. Cash. Yeah. I'll go over to that one. SPR. Oh man. I'm thinking there. Did we shift market structure? Oh, okay. Actually, we shifted market structure. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see. Price run that started it from low to high. You have a discount bullish imbalance. It's much further down actually. And last week, believe it or not, you did create a bearish volume imbalance down, gap down. So I'm thinking that's probably better. 21. That's where the discount imbalance is at least. So, yeah. So I have a bunch of videos. If you want to learn how to do it, I have a bunch of videos. I got a group that we do stuff like this in. But yeah, all right. So that's all I got. If anybody has any questions about anything, just feel free to reach out and we'll get after it. Good luck this week. Shortened week for sure. And I think there's a lot of Fed speakers, so be on the lookout. But all right, I'll talk to everybody next time.